Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. He said, God very much relishes the bhakti of the poor and the lowly, just as the cow relishes fodder mixed with oil cake. The smell of the oil cake, or it's crushed, oil seeds are crushed. It gives fine fragrance. Cows reject certain things, while even grazing, certain plants they don't eat. They can smell even from a distance as they are grazing grass. There are certain plants growing closely with grass. They avoid that and graze the grass. And these plants, small plants, we see, if we smell, we cannot find out so easily the difference between grass or this one. But they find out how much sensitive their smell perception is, you see. And this smell perception, just like we pass through a bakery or a hotel, the food, oil frying and all that, how it attracts us, how that smell gives us immediately desire to eat. We can see even in the houses when they put the seasoning, tadka, when they put seasoning, immediately whole house, that oil has a special attraction for all jivas. And that oil cake, when this one is taken away, oil is taken away, that cake, what remains, oil cake, has greatest attraction for cows. And if it is mixed a little, with gusto they eat, joyfully. Like that, God relishes the bhakti of the poor and the lowly. Last class we saw that beggar women, how much God must have relished. King Duryodhana showed Krishna the splendor of his wealth and riches, but Krishna accepted the hospitality of the poor Vidura. Whatever a person can aspire for, all types of enjoyments are there, riches are there with Duryodhana. And all comforts and luxuries he can provide for the guest. And for Krishna, he will be ready to do anything. Vidura doesn't have anything. A small hut built with his own hand and a small land piece in which he cultivates, and he is not to take the perks from the kingdom. From king he never accepted any money or wealth or his needs of life. He is to plow, he and his wife, and whatever products come from his own land he would consume. When Krishna goes to Vidura's house, they don't have a piece of cloth to spread to make him sit. They don't have a chair or a simhasana or asana to sit. They don't have any food except plantains at home, banana at home, which has come from their own garden, with their own efforts, no labor in their home. Vidura and his wife used to do the cultivation also. And that poor house, what is Shri we will understand here. In Duryodhana's house, there is wealth deprived of Shri. Shri is, we use the Bija mantra also, Shreem. Shri is all convenient and favorable conditions, and it exists where there is love, purity and compassion. Wherever there is love, purity and compassion, peace dawns. Peace will be always there. So these are four components moving together. This together is called Shri. In a house, if there is love, if there is peace, you can immediately understand Shri is there, dancing there in joy. Maybe they don't have any wealth or property, they may not be having food to eat, but if there is love and peace, Shri is there. And that is not there in Duryodhana's palace. All wealth is there, wealth deprived of Shri. Without Shri, wealth is there. And here, no wealth is there, but Shri is dancing in Vidura's house. So, Shri, that's why Krishna goes there. There is peace, there is joy, there is bliss. Here, there is tension, there is fear, there is anxiety, there is hatred, there is prejudice. Seeing all this, there won't be, divine presence won't be there where there is hatred, where there is jealousy, where there is intolerance, when there is stress and strain. God's presence won't be there. The presence comes here to the Vidura's house. So why did Shri Krishna accept Vidura? Because devotion is there, love is there, purity is there, peace is there, which is not there in Duryodhana's palace. Krishna accepted the hospitality of the poor Vidura. God is fond of his devotees. God is fond of his devotees. He runs after the devotee as cow after the calf. The love of God cannot be measured. We are blind to it. We cannot perceive also, we cannot think, we cannot imagine. Those who are devotees, they understand. They give themselves totally to God, seeing the love of God. Oh, how much God loves, I don't love. I don't know what is love when we see the love of God. So do they give themselves entirely to Him. Wherever there is love, there is surrender, there is self-giving, there is joy, there is peace. So in God, they see in abundance to the extreme, ultimate, and then we call it absolute. God is love, peace, bliss, absolute. Absolute. Absolute love, absolute peace, absolute bliss. Means that is the ultimate, beyond which there is nothing. So this is what God is. Bliss, peace, love, absolute. So He is the ocean of love. We carry a small drop of love in our heart towards the world. Same ocean is within us, but we cannot extract or use it because we are limited. Unlimited can be source if the supplying is limited. It cannot. Huge ocean and a small outlet. It cannot convey. It cannot carry. So it cannot understand also. Body and mind cannot understand love of God. When we start losing the body awareness, we start understanding the love of God. Because of the bodily existence, I can see outside. I cannot see inside. I cannot go to the core of my existence, experience the love of God. I have to turn inward. I have to separate from the body. The more and more I become independent of body, and the more and more I experience. In sleep also I become independent of body. But I am not turned inward and I am not conscious. My consciousness becomes shrunken little by little and moves towards zero. It gets concentrated, it gets compressed and then expands again in the cosmic after crossing the Sthula Sukshma Karana Sharira. Can we go to the same depth consciously, fully consciously, then meditation? Meditation is a process by which I turn myself inward and go in the same direction I went to the depth of my being in sleep. I am going to the same place, same depth, and seeing what is there, what I experienced in deep sleep, unconsciously, without my knowledge, because mind and senses were not there. My consciousness reduced to point, expanded again in God, I could not know. Because there were not two at all to know. When I started projecting out, I was again with the bodies. I could never know. But here, turning inward and diving in meditation, I know everything. Where am I going? How am I going? What am I experiencing? One by one layer of my sheets that are covering my body, my soul, various levels of bodies, I experience. And ultimately I experience my own self, unlimited, eternal, imperishable being, that I understand I am immortal. So this knowledge of inward journey, so that is then we understand what is love of God. The moment we turn inward and start losing the body consciousness, we start understanding what is love of God. Every jiva is attached to the enjoyment of the world. How God has released me from all this. How He was keeping alive instead of all my defects and errors in this body. How He was protecting us in spite of all our misdoings, giving us all that we need in our life to sustain. So then he understands, oh, God's love has no limits. Master sang. And for that love, the mighty yogis practice yoga from age to age. Yuga. When love awakes, the Lord like a magnet draws to him the soul. When that love awakens in the jiva, immediately God attracts the soul to himself. The song, its translation is there in Kannada. It's a beautiful song. The love of gopis, he explains in that song. It's only 2 lines are given here. Actually, the love of gopis is being expressed there. Yogis who are practicing yoga, sitting in meditation and calling on the divine, for ages and ages, these gopis, without anything, they attained Krishna. They could not attain. Thousands of years are passing in their sadhana. So many lives are coming and going, yet they could not reach Krishna, the Lord, or they realized the truth. These gopis, out of little love, pure love, they attained the Lord. There he says, is not this pure, unselfish love of the knave maidens of gopis of the Vrindavan is much superior than the yoga of the yogis? And there a question mark. Yugadali, they did dhyana, and gopis, a little butter and buttermilk giving with love, they owned the Lord as their own. So this difference, and when that awakens, that love awakens in the heart, the God is there already. Then he said, Chaitanya is to shed tears of joy at the very mention of Krishna's name. God alone is the real substance. All else is illusory. At the very mention of Krishna's name, Chaitanya is to our Ramcharitmanas, the author, Tulsidas. Tulsidas mentions, oh, I thought I will be able to realize God. He too wanted to realize God. And he runs away at the call of the divine, leaving the home. Runs through long distances to reach a place and call on God, sitting under a tree. Years pass. Then he writes, oh, I struggled in my life in various ways. I thought one by one yoga, I thought I can do the jnana vichara and realize God. I went to realize God. And I went to the jnanis, they never opened their eyes at all. They were sitting in meditation. I went round, I called, I shouted. They are in their own world. I thought, will I be able to sit like this and lose the external consciousness and the whole world can I forget? Anytime, body can I forget like this? He goes away from this is not my path, I cannot do. Then he goes to bhaktas. And then he utters the name of God. Immediately they start weeping, shedding tears, and then slowly they lose the body consciousness externally, thinking of God. And he thinks, what is this? I am uttering the same and nothing is happening to me. Not even a little emotion is coming. They are losing they are shedding tears, hearing the name of God. Where am I? This is also doesn't look like my path. I won't be able to attain that state. He goes away from there. Then he goes to yogis. Yogis are of very high self-control. He goes and he says, I want to realize God. They open the eyes and look at him and start laughing. What is this? You don't have any capacity even to exercise your own self-control on your mind and sit in a corner and call on God. And you are running about here and there, from place to place, from people to people. What yoga will you do? And then he comes away from all places. He wanted to do karma yoga. He goes to do karma. I will serve the people. He sees such people are doing services. Each one has built hundreds of wells in the villages. So many ghats they have made in the rivers. So many huge temples people have built. So many accommodations for the sadhakas they have provided. He thinks, I don't have a pie with me, nor the physical bodily strength to work like them. What will I do? Then he says, at last I went. The Jnana Ghat is also not for me. Bhakti Ghat also is not for me. Yoga Ghat also is not for me. Karma Ghat also not for me. What will I do? I thought to go to the same ocean, to go to the same sarovar of God. I built my own one ghat, Dina Ghat. I became a lowly man at the and abandoned myself at the feet of God. I gave myself completely. Now it is your part to protect me and bring me up. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sheds the tears, you see. Then uttering the name of God, he builds up his own lowly ghat, Dina. God alone is the real substance. This is the repeated expression of Ramakrishna. God alone is real and eternal. All else is passing phase, anitya. Bhagwan ekmatra nitya. And all else is anitya, passing. Hold on to the real. Hold on to the eternal. Let the passing. You cannot hold the passing. You will be thrown away if you try to hold. So, illusory means, here Thakur uses a special word as illusory. God alone is real substance. He usually uses the term God alone is real, all else is passing, ephemeral. Anitya, Bhagwan ekmatra nitya, shashvata, and all else is anitya. Here he uses the term illusory, something like maya. It appears to be there and it is not there. You are seeing it, just like dream. Dream you are seeing, you are experienced the dream. You saw actually, you moved about, you are seen, you are experienced. But it was not there when you experienced also. When you saw also, it was not there. When you were in dream, it was never there. But you experienced it. So that is illusory. So, world is illusory. Sri Ramakrishna very rarely uses this term. Is as in pure Advaitic awareness of God being alone, real, and all else, non-existing, like something like that. Man can realize God if he wants to, means every person has that capacity. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, every human, by the virtue of being human, deha dharana, manusya deha dharana, whatever be his past, whatever be his karmas, whatever be his tendencies, vasanas, he may be having bad vasanas, he may be have done bad karmas, irrespective of that, unrelated to that, every man can realize God. Independent of the one's past, he can realize God if he wants. The only thing is, I want to realize God. In Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, Api chedasi papebhya papakrit tamaha. He might have done great sins and to the extent highest sin, but in spite of that, the day he thinks I have to realize God, he has not realized, he has not done any sadhana, his old vasanas are still continuing, driving him, but the thought that came in his mind, I have to be good, I have to realize God. Still he is doing mistakes, still he is on the wrong path, because of the old samskaras driving him, helplessly is doing, but the thought that came to him, I must realize God, I must transcend all these defects and one day attain that purity. One day I attain that. That thought came, sadhureva samantavyaha samyak vyavasito isa. He is to be considered as sadhu because his thought, he has rightly thought and wants to be in the right track and go ahead. Samyak vyavasito isa. He has thought rightly. He may not be able to do, but he has thought rightly. That then the very thought, because one day it is going to fulfill. One day the door will be opened of perfection for him. In spite of all his, and the moment he touches the feet of God, all things will dissolve away. It will not be there. So that assurance wants to, man can realize God if he wants. But he madly craves for the enjoyments of woman and gold. In the world, all enjoyments, possessions and enjoyments, woman and gold, all type of enjoyment. Here, woman, Kamini, the term used in Bengali and other languages is Kamini Kanchana. Kamini doesn't mean woman actually. What causes desire in you, anything that causes desire in you is called Kamini. For example, I feel like eating nice dish. The dish is, I see a dish and I want to eat. The dish is the Kamini. It's creating Kama in us, desire to eat. Any kind of enjoyment, whatever it produces, including certain things, I want to get rid of a person. He is troubling me. I want to get rid of that person forever. I want to kill him. That is the enjoyment I am going to get. I am going to be free from the botherations. Even that becomes a kamini. So, all this, any kind of desire and the possessions, for enjoying I possess. The possessions and enjoyment, kamini kanchana. Woman and gold. The snake has precious stone in its head, but it is perfectly satisfied to eat mere frog. Within is great treasure, but we are satisfied with small things of the world. If we turn what we are aspiring for, a drop of enjoyment, there is ocean of bliss in the within. We are struggling to get a little peace in life. Ocean of peace is within us. But we are satisfied and running after the searching something in our external world. This is the greatest tragedy of man. Keeping everything within, he is feeling himself to be a beggar in this world. Om Niranjanam Nityamanantarupam Bhaktanukampa Dritavikraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidhyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha.